What is good, everybody? The New Orleans Saints just selected Kelvin Banks Jr. with their ninth overall pick, tackle out of the University of Texas. Big fan of this selection. I know it's not the most glamorous pick in the world, but this solves a problem for the Saints. They have no starting left guard. I imagine Banks will come in and start left guard day one, right? But this also puts you in a position to where you don't have to worry about your tackle positions in the future, right? Because Trevor Penning, the Saints just elected not to pick up his fifth year option, meaning they're going to count on Penning to improve in a contract year and then decide on his future with the Saints. Now, if he doesn't improve and he's gone, no problem, because now you have a guy who can go over there and play right tackle or play left tackle, and maybe Fuago will move back to right tackle where he played in college. But either way, with the selection of Banks, you have your most important positions along the offensive line shored up with Banks and Fuaga, right? And in a perfect world, Penning continues to improve, and then you have, you know, those three guys good to go along with Eric McCoy and Cesar Ruiz, right? So huge fan of this move. He's still young too. He's only 21 years old. Only going to get better, right? He's a smooth mover. He's good in the run game, good in the pass game. So I'm yapping at this point. Let's get into this film review. I'm doing this literally right after the Saints selected him. So this video might be a little sloppy, but let's get into it. This is the University of Texas versus Michigan. I picked just a random game and threw it on. So let's get into it. All right, here we go. Again, he's over here at left tackle, number 78, right side of your screen. Okay, let's check it out. Stopping the bull rush from number 8 against Michigan there. I like it, okay? So what do we like to see here? We get out of our stance with explosion, right? We get to our aiming point. Aiming point for him would be his crotch splitting the inside knee of the defender, right? If you set any further back than that, you're going to give up your inside. So that's why we like to play the man inside out. And what I like here is the hands. Watch him use what's called a double under technique. It's especially good against bull rushes because it allows you to get both your hands up underneath that defender's chest plate and lift him, right? This is a really efficient way to stop a bull rush. So you can see there, look at his arms. Both of them going underneath the arms of the defender, then lifting up, and then just driving him around that corner, around his quarterback. Beautiful stuff on this rep. Okay, stopping that bull rush. Next play here, it's a run play. He's going to be going against Mason Graham, who went 5th overall to the Cleveland Browns. Really good player, really good player that can handle double teams, right? And this is really a bad job by Texas's left guard here. You got the combo block between the left guard and the left tackle Banks. And again, the left guard just doesn't do a nice job sustaining on that double team. So really it ends up being, somewhat of a one-on-one block between him and Graham. And you can see I like right away the first step, explode towards that inside, get our hat play side, okay, towards where we know the ball might go to where we have to wall off this defender, okay, hat play side there. And again, left guard doesn't help us much at all. And I mean, he pretty much this is just a one-on-one block between him and Graham at this point. And he drives him a couple yards off the ball, right? I mean, you can see right there where the tackle ends up being made. The running back doesn't do the best job of reading this thing either, to be fair. But you can see, we're starting out right here on the line. And where does Graham end up? What, about 4 yards off the ball? Okay, I like the hand placement as well. Again, inside hand on the shoulder or on the chest plate and just driving the feet, driving the feet, driving the feet. And again, this is, two really good players going at it. Mason Graham, phenomenal run defender. So this is good to see Kelvin Banks Jr. get movement on him. All right, next play here. This time Banks going against Josaiah Stewart, who is one of my favorite pass rushers in this draft. He'll probably go in the first half of the draft. Really good, really good pass rusher. Okay, you can see he's lined up way out here in this wide position. So this is a really tough block for Kelvin Banks to make. And you can see the athleticism that he has. Look at him explode out of the stance again, getting to his aiming point perfectly again, right? And check this out. Josaiah Stewart going for the sort of dip and rip. Kelvin Banks Jr. mirroring him, staying perfectly square in front of him. He's going to use that outside hand to sort of wrap it around to stop him, but he has to move his feet along with it so it's not called for holding, right? So you're sort of creating a wall with that left arm, but moving your feet along with you so that it doesn't get called for holding. And I like what he does with his right arm here too, right? Offensive tackles are taught when these defensive ends are trying to run that hoop or run that corner to put the hand on the hip and run them up the field, right? So you can see right here, hand on the hip and run him up the field around your quarterback. Okay. See it. Just like that. Perfect. Stays perfectly in front of the defender all the way through. Feet never stop moving. Beautiful stuff. That's what you like to see. All right, next rep here. This one, I like the patient hands from Kelvin Banks Jr. So let's watch this through real quick. He waits for the defender to show his cards before he shoots his strike. Now, I want you to pay attention. What move does number 8 there go for? Goes for sort of that swipe move right there, right? What would happen, do you think, if Kelvin Banks Jr. threw his hands earlier than this? They're going to get swiped, right? He's throwing the swipe right now. Banks hasn't shot his hands yet. Then he waits after the swipe, then shoots his strike and stops the defender. Patient hands. Again, if he throws them now, they get swiped. So he's waiting patiently for that defender to make his move right there. Then we're going to throw our strike and again stay in front of the defender. This is an excellent rep right here. Next rep here, another good one from Banks. You could tell the defensive end has nothing for him here. Just completely overwhelms him with strength. Hand placement, inside. Check out that inside hand of Banks, right? Outside hand, inside hand on the chest plate. And again, we're mirroring him, meaning we're staying in front of him the entire time. Our body is in front of his body, creating a wall for our quarterback. And we're just walking him wherever he wants to go, as long as it ain't to the quarterback, right? Another really good rep. All right, a little bit of run action here. This is some nice movement off the ball from Banks. Check this out, okay? They're running outside zone to the left towards his side or wide zone. His guy is number 0 here, Josaiah Stewart, again, a really good player. Check this out. Watch the movement he gets. Look at the leverage. Hands inside, leverage, drive our feet, drive our feet, drive our feet. Look at him moving him off the ball. That's beautiful stuff right there. Let's rewind that back a little bit. I got to watch this one again. I mean, the initial pop he has in his hands, boom, right there. Drive, drive, drive. Next rep here. Another play that really shows the strength that he plays with and the pop in his strike that he can generate and the strength to extend. Let's see. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Check this out. Watch this. Boom. Look at that. Look at the extension he gets right here. See if I can pause it at the perfect time. There's the initial strike, but watch the extension of the arms he gets. Boom. Watch him press him out. It takes a lot of strength to press the defensive end out like that. Next rep here, this again, beautiful stuff. Once again, going against Josaiah Stewart, really good pass rusher. And I like the way he uses independent hands on this play, meaning he's going to shoot his hands at different times. Okay, so let's press play. Again, nice explosion out of the stance, gets to his aiming point. Watch him use that outside hand. Use it as a pillar strike, right? We're going to throw that outside hand first towards his outside shoulder. Then we're going to bring the inside hand right here as a lift hand or a clamp hand up underneath to lift him to stop that defensive end right there. I mean, come on. Pillar strike, lift. Here he is on the double team with his left guard and working up to the second level. Okay. On the deuce. Let's see, press play. Take care of that first level first right there. He uses a nice, it's called a gallop technique. Gets rid of that first level first and works up to the second level right there, square on the block, and creates a lane for his running back. Now, if there is one thing, one part of his game that he has to clean up, it's that he does end up on the ground a little too often, and it has to do with him just overextending on plays. Like, and this is a good example here, on the backside of what looks to be a duo run. So just a inside run here. You can see how he's just a little overextended right here. His shoulders are above his knees. You never want that, and it causes him to that defensive end to be able to pull him down to the ground like that and get in on the tackle. So if there's one part of his game that he needs to work on, it's the balance issues and the overextending. Here he is working against Mason Graham in a pass rushing situation, right? See, not the prettiest hand placement here, not the prettiest rep in the world, but he does his job. He protects his quarterback, right? He stays in front of him, right? Hand placement. Obviously, you'd like to see inside hands a little better here, but he does his job fine. He mirrors him, stays in front of him the entire time, keeps his feet moving, and does a nice job. Here he is again, working his way up to the second level on a run play. Okay, he's going to be working to number one here, out in space, essentially. It's going to be sort of like a wide zone, outside zone type of play. You can see him give a little help to his guard at first and move on to the second level, create a wall in front of that running back. All right, another quick example of what I was talking about the overextending stuff that he has to clean up. Okay, another rep here where you can just tell he's playing a little too far over his knees, over his hips, right there. You can tell shoulders are above his knee or in front of his knees, in front of his hips. Defensive lineman easily just club swim and he's on the ground, right? Again, it's just something he can clean up. It's technique, it's coachable, and with all the tools he has, and this is the problem that you have with him, which it happens like once or twice a game, which is too much. It's not going to fly in the NFL, right? It's only going to happen more in the NFL if he doesn't work on it. So I, expect this is one of the very first things that the Saints and the offensive line coach will be working on him with, um, because it happens just a little too often. All right, we'll finish it off with this one, recognizing the stunt over here and picking it up nicely. Okay, you can see at this point he recognizes defensive end. He's going to spike inside, so he immediately gets his eyes inside to 26 here to overtake him from the guard. Does it smoothly, easily, protects his quarterback. All right, so that is going to do it. Kelvin Banks Jr., I am a huge fan of this pick for all of the reasons I explained in the beginning of this video. As usual, I appreciate you guys watching. Peace.